grab your cup. I want to give you one rule that if you can implement this in your life, especially during the times when you're feeling really overwhelmed, when you're feeling like you're out of control, you're being pulled in a lot of different places, this one rule can really help you organize your perspective and how you're seeing things. And this came from Byron Katie, I think, the way that I'm going to say this, but it's really helpful. My clients have found this as something that a place that they can stand in when life is feeling overwhelming. So here's the rule. Remember that there are three things: God's business, your business, and others' business. God's business, your business, and somebody else's business. Whenever you are standing in or paying attention to or focused on someone else's business or God's business, you suffer. That's when the overwhelm and the feeling out of control and all of the things happen, because you're paying attention and focused on what is really somebody else's business or what should be in the hands of God, and you're trying to control an outcome or do something in a way for someone else or handle everything. When you can focus on your own business, and that's it. What do I need to do for this thing for myself today, and only focus right there? A lot of the suffering and that feeling of overwhelm and out of control goes away. So let's just quickly define some of those possible scenarios so that when they show up in your life, if you can remember this, maybe write it down, put it somewhere that you can see it. It will really help you. So things that are in other people's business. Other people's business are how they feel, what their emotions are in response to something. You're not responsible for how someone else is feeling. You're not responsible. Now, that doesn't mean you vomit on people and you're responsible with the things that you say. But when you are doing what you need to do, you're authentically expressing yourself, being kind, not so much being nice, like worrying about, are you okay, but being kind in what you have to say, then you're not focusing on how are they feeling about it. That is their job, how they feel. So if you do a lot of people pleasing, you're in other people's business. You're taking on whether they are okay with things, whether they are okay with you. Another place that might show up is being in other people's business is trying to overly help, being a big helper. Like, let me do that for you. Let me take that on. Being a helicopter parent. So handling everything, kind of running block for your kids so that they don't get the experience of failure. They don't get the experience of disappointment. They don't get the consequences of their own choices. That's all being in somebody else's business. And also trying to, when you're in that helper mode, doing everything for everybody else. That's why you're feeling so overwhelmed. So just look and see, is this really my business? Or am I overstepping into something that someone else should be handling or experiencing or responding to? In terms of God's business, when we are trying to control outcomes or we're really worried about situations, and this might come under health, your own health, you do what you can do. It's God's business on how it's going to turn out, right? You do the things that you know to do to keep your body healthy, other people's health, people in your family. So health is an area, I think, where you want to really understand that the outcome is going to fall into God's business, and just do the things that you can. Also, other things like getting the right job, getting the right person. If you focus on yourself and who you want to be in a relationship, and you relate to yourself in a way as someone who deserves a great relationship, then the God's business part is the right people will be attracted to you. But if you're always trying to go out and get someone to like you more, get someone to be in your life, you're overstepping. You want to focus on you and let God or the universe, whatever word you want to use, to me, it's all that divine intelligence, that creator essence that is behind everything. Give those issues up to that space, to God. And when you can do that, you're not overwhelmed and frustrated, giving up the timeline of when you think things should happen. So if it's success in your job, if it's an outcome in any other area of your life, giving up the timeline needing to look a particular way. It will unfold in the way and in the time frame that God says it will. So that's your rule of thumb. Whenever I am in God's business, someone else's business, I suffer. When I focus on my business and I take the actions and pay attention to what do I need to do, who do I want to be and how I handle this, then those feelings of overwhelm and being out of control and a whole lot of stress are going to disappear. So I would love to know how that lands for you, and where do you don't have to let me know this, but you could take a moment and reflect. Where do you allow yourself to go into others' business or God's business or both? And how has that been impacting how out of control and overwhelmed you feel? Okay? Take a second, reflect on that. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.